Good morning. It's supposed to rain like all day today, starting in less than an hour. So I'm hoping I can get this run in before I get soaked. And I just really didn't want this shoe's first run to be on a treadmill today, so I had to get out here. I just picked up the Nike Vomero Premium, and I had an interesting path towards getting these. I have the Vomero 18 and the Plus, and originally I said I wasn't going to get the Premium because I'm like, it's too much money. It's got one use. But then I saw some reviews of it where people really liked it, and I'm like, I might as well complete the set and also let everybody out there in YouTube know what I think about this shoe. So I was like, I should just get it. So I wanted to get it from Running Warehouse because they have a 15% off first responder discount. So I was on their website before 10 a.m. earlier this week when the shoe came out. And I was on there ready to pay instantly, pick my size, put it in the cart. The order went through. I was like, yes, I got it. So I had that order placed in less than 5 minutes after the shoe was released. Then later in the day, I got an email, sold out, your order was canceled. And I was like, ah, damn it. So I was like, am I buying tickets to a Taylor Swift concert? Like, why was this so difficult? Then I went over to Nike's website. They were all sold out as well. But one thing I will say for Running Warehouse, they have excellent customer service. Every time I've called them, the people are always super nice, knowledgeable. They don't send me anything for free either. I would like them to, maybe one day. But I called them up and basically said, hey, you know, I ordered the shoe the minute it came out, and they let me know they only had like 50 pairs was the initial release that was sent to them. So they sold out immediately. But what they said though is, since you already placed the order and it got canceled, we'll pre-order the next colorway for you, so that as soon as we get that, we'll ship that out to you. And they were true to their word, and I'm wearing that shoe on my feet right now, and I actually like this colorway better than the Proto colorway. Now, the first thing that I have to say about this shoe is that they are ludicrously tall. This is by far the tallest shoe I've ever worn. I believe they're 55 in the heel, 45 in the forefoot with a 10 mil drop, which means the heel of this shoe is 15 millimeters higher than the legal limit, and the forefoot of the shoe is 5 millimeters higher than the heel of most carbon plate legal racing shoes. It actually says right on the back of the shoe as well, not approved by World Athletics. But I don't think that's going to be a problem for anyone, because no one who's a pro runner is going to choose this to run a race in, and anybody who's running a race in these is not breaking any kind of record. So it's fine to wear these if you want to run a half or a full marathon, but I also wouldn't really recommend it unless you just plan on jogging, because it's such a heavy shoe. It's so big, there's no way for it not to be heavy, especially with those two AirPods or Zoom Air units in there as well. Although when I weighed this, as soon as I got it out of the box, I was a little surprised that it wasn't as heavy as I thought it was going to be. I'll get the exact number when I get home, but I believe it was 13 point something ounces in a US 12. Again, under 10 ounces is a light shoe for me. Under 8 ounces is a really light shoe. I only have a couple that are that light. So 13 ounces, I have some trail shoes that weigh this much. I have the Hoka, what is it, the Speed Goat 4 or Speed Goat 5 is also 13 point something ounces. So it's basically the same weight as that Hoka trail shoe, which is heavy for a normal shoe, but it's not over a pound, which I was expecting. I was thinking this was going to be 16 plus ounces. So I'm actually kind of pleasantly surprised by the weight of this. It's heavy, but it's not as heavy as I thought it was going to be. And just initially jogging in this, you get so much energy return from this shoe, you really don't feel the weight because it's just bouncing along. I think if you hate the road, this is the shoe for you. If you don't want to feel the road, if you want to pretend that it doesn't exist, that's what this shoe is best at. There is zero ground feel. But let's put some miles in these and see how we do. And the run I'm supposed to do today is actually kind of perfect for these. I'm supposed to run 40 minutes easy, and then the last 10 minutes a little bit harder. So I think really the main use for these is going to be a recovery shoe, an easy shoe. But then the question is, can you actually run fast in these? So hopefully on this run, I'll answer both of those questions. Another visual for you here. I actually ride the Peloton a lot to supplement my running. And it gives your joints a little bit of a break, pushing down on those pedals and it recovering up without your foot ever hitting the ground. And I'm actually getting kind of that feeling from this shoe. It feels like I'm riding a bike. It's just, again, just kind of deleting the ground impact I feel like my knees are getting to take a little bit of a vacation right now on this run today. I thought it was supposed to be fall. What's with this weather? I think it's like 70 something degrees right now, like 98% humidity and windy. So all my favorite things, hot, humid, and windy. I'm sure it's gonna rain on me by the end of this and it'll just be everything. But yeah, I'm enjoying this shoe. Now, do you need this shoe? Probably not. If you're just a normal person and you want to, you're looking for what's a good daily trainer, what's a good tempo shoe, is there one shoe I can do everything in for a good price? That's the antithesis of this shoe, because it's expensive. It's $230, which we're in carbon plate racing shoe territory there. So for a daily trainer, it's very expensive. I mean, this is up there though with the Adidas Prime X Strung, the variations of that. They're on the Strung 3, which I don't have yet. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get that one or not. I believe that one's $300. I'll double check that when I get back. But what you're getting from this shoe is a very unique experience. I can't say I've ever run in a shoe that feels the way that this one does. The level of bounce that you get from it is really impressive, but also I expected them to feel softer than they do. They feel very cushioned, they feel very comfortable, super built up upper, padded tongue, padded around the heel collar. So it's just a very comfy shoe to be in overall. But something that's kind of interesting with those Zoom airbags in the shoe, they actually kind of act as a stiffening agent, even though they're still soft. So they're a stiffening agent that's actually soft, which is kind of an interesting thing. A lot of times with a big stacked shoe like this, if it has soft foam in it, they'll look to put a plate in there to stiffen it, or you'll have to use a firmer foam like Asics does in the Super Blast, so it becomes not as wild. But this, with the airbags, the way that they compress, actually kind of stabilizes the shoe. Now, I will not say that this is a completely stable shoe, but it's also not a completely unstable shoe either. For the height that it is, I'm surprised how stable it feels, and a lot of that is helped by the width of the shoe. It's a very wide shoe in the forefoot and the heel the whole way through to help balance itself with that massive stack. I am getting a little bit of overpronation on my right side, my right ankle turning in a little bit, especially when there's some grade to the road where I'm leaning in a little bit. It's kind of exacerbating that problem, making it want to lean in a little bit more. But when I'm just running in a straight line, I'm not experiencing that. Did I mention that I hate humidity? Look at my shirt right now. And I got like 12 to 20 mile an hour wind gusts. I feel like God was like, Nike, you've made this monstrosity of a shoe and you must be punished. And it's just hitting me with all the elements on my first run in the shoe today. Well, I didn't make it before the rain. As you saw, the rain's kind of opened up on me there at the end there. I think it was, more people were waiting to buy this shoe than lining up outside a church this weekend. So God was like, you can't have any false idols before me. Why does everybody want this shoe more than they want salvation? But there's a lot of Nike fanboys out there. So I actually did not get a chance to do the faster part of the run at the end there because I was getting absolutely soaked. The shoes were soaked and taking on weight. I did not think that would be a representative of what this shoe could do at its fastest when I was drenched in rain and the shoe was all wet. So I cut that short after 6 miles. So I ran 6 miles at easy pace basically in this shoe. And I think every mile was pretty much in the 8s. I ran a 7:54 the first mile, then like 8:02, 8:05, 8:34, 8:20, 8:31. So I actually did do a legit easy run, but it felt very easy as well. My heart rate really stayed in zone 2, bridging it to zone 3 a little bit during that run, and it just felt very easy and pleasant. So one thing I wanted to show too, that I have these boxes behind me here. When this box came in the mail, the size of the box that it came in was ridiculous, but I have this for perspective here. This is the largest shoebox I've ever seen in my life. It's like the size of my torso. And for comparison, this is the box for the new, what do you call them? The Velocity 4s that I got the other day. But look what I can do. So that entire shoebox fits in this one. I can close it up and ship it out. So just to give you an idea of how large this shoe actually is. So let's get into some of the pros and cons of this shoe. So pro number 1, I think it's just a really cool looking shoe. You'll definitely get some looks wearing this. I think it's kind of nice how they integrated that air on there, which kind of came from a basketball shoe that they had in the past that had air written on the side, so it kind of harkens back to that shoe. I think the AirPods in here look really cool. And for those of you that are short, this thing could really help you out. Gives you 2.5 inches of more height. For me being a tall guy, this is just ludicrous. Like, it's hard for me to walk through doorways. I almost hit my head on my front door walking out because I think the door is 7 feet tall, and with these on I'm like 6'7", so I have very small clearance. So if you're a tall runner and you wear these shoes, be careful. You might hit your head on a door frame. I think comfort is another big pro of this shoe. You can't deny that this is a comfy shoe. It has a super padded tongue, a padded heel collar. This does have kind of an Achilles flare a little bit there. Very padded on the inside. There's plenty of room in this upper. It has a roomy toe box, so if someone has a wider foot, I think you're going to be fine in this shoe. If someone has a narrow foot, you might find it a little bit too much space for you, but me with just kind of a normal volume foot, it's fine. So very comfortable upper. But I would say the biggest pro of this shoe is just the ride that you get from it is so unique and bouncy. It's literally, like I said earlier in the video, it feels like there is no road beneath your feet. You're just kind of gliding over the ground as if there's nothing there. Nike said they designed the feel of this to be after an anti-gravity treadmill, and I really am kind of getting that effect. So I could see if someone's running really high mileage weeks in marathon training and it's time for a recovery day and you put this shoe on, this will just take care of your legs, take care of your joints, remove that impact. Also, if someone's a larger runner, I think this is really going to be enjoyable for you. If someone's a heavier runner like me, I'm about 240 pounds, so I feel like I'm light when I'm wearing this shoe because it's just so supportive and absorbing of all that impact that you're putting into the shoe. Look at the width of this thing as well. It's just a massive freaking shoe. It's like a Yeti foot, this thing. The width in the forefoot, the midfoot, and the heel. No matter where you land on this, it's going to be supportive. It doesn't matter if you're a heel striker, a midfoot striker, or a forefoot striker. It's going to be comfortable and stable. You can also see part of the weight is this outsole. It has that waffle rubber covering the entire outsole. So they definitely were not looking to shave weight off of this at all. So grip is very good in this shoe. I also got to experience that, a little bit of the wet weather grip at the end there. I wasn't slipping at all when it was pouring rain on me. So very good grip. I think this shoe is also going to be incredibly durable with this big of an outsole and this much stack to it. I think this is going to be good for hundreds of miles. So similar to the Super Blast or the Prime X, where those are expensive shoes, but they have so much foam and good outsoles, and I really think you'll be able to get hundreds of miles out of the shoe. So it's very expensive, but also it's going to be very durable, which kind of helps offset some of that expense. I also think these are almost like buying like a Rolls-Royce SUV. It's like, does anybody need a Rolls-Royce SUV? No. I mean, you can get a Toyota Highlander, you can get a Dodge Durango, a Honda Passport, or forget the other one at the moment. Honda Pilot, that's the one I was thinking of, where there's a lot of quality SUVs out there, but, you know, somebody wants that ultra plush luxury experience with the fancy leather in the back and the stars on the ceiling. That's kind of what I feel like this shoe is. This is the premium in the name is accurate. This is like an opulent shoe where you just want to pamper yourself and you're like, I want to ride in the back of a Rolls Royce today. That's what this shoe is. Do you need to do that every day? No. Do you need to take your Rolls Royce to Costco? No, you could take your Toyota Highlander to Costco. So it's like, is this shoe necessary? Not really. Is it a unique kind of novelty product? For sure. So cons of this shoe, I think there are really three. There's three main negative things about this shoe. Number one is just the price. It's $230 for a shoe that you're probably not going to race in. So if you said to me a few years ago, would I buy a shoe this expensive that's not a race shoe, I would have 100% said no. But also I didn't have a YouTube channel then when I was trying to get people to watch videos. So please remember to like and subscribe. Something that was actually kind of sad the other day was I sold a couple pairs of shoes on eBay, and I made more money in one day than I have in 3 years making videos on YouTube. So I'd appreciate if you'd subscribe to the channel if you like the content, because I'm definitely not breaking even on this endeavor so far. So con number one is definitely the price, and then con number two is the weight. It's a very heavy shoe, so you're not going to be running fast in this shoe. I could see myself maybe getting up to like 7:30 pace. I think getting down to 7-minute pace would be a bit of a chore in this shoe, just because it's so ponderous is the best word for it. Being like big and heavy, it's just hard to move it fast. So you do have a very nice ride, very good energy return, but it's just hard to turn over a shoe that's this big. You have like these giant things on your feet. They just don't want to move quickly from stride to stride. Where the ride of it is more like absorb the impact, bounce, and return, and just feels nice and smooth. But when you want to go fast, it's just too big of a shoe to do that. So price and weight are the top two negatives for sure. And then because of that weight, the other negative is limited use case. where it's just such a big heavy shoe, you're not going to run fast in these. So I think basically you got to know what you're getting into when you're buying this shoe. If you want a recovery shoe, you want a shoe you can take for long runs and just be comfortable and bouncy, you're going to get that from this shoe, but you're paying a premium for it. Another kind of unique one, though, that probably no one has mentioned so far, these two little cutouts on the bottom here where the zoom part shows through. I actually drove my car in these the other day, and as I was braking, I was having issues with this part right here. This was like the brake pedal was sliding into this hole in the bottom of the shoe. So that was kind of a unique situation that I don't know if anybody's driven a car wearing these yet, but having this cutout there when I was trying to press on the brake pedal, it was like sliding into that part of the shoe. So I don't recommend driving in these. Also, it's making, you gotta move your seat back a little bit farther because there's so much room, so much midsole you have here. So not a good shoe for driving. One thing where I do need to give Nike a little bit of credit this year is they're putting out some good training shoes this year. In the past, I would say Nike doesn't have a very strong lineup of training shoes, but you can't really see it behind me there. Got to move to the side. So I got the Alpha Fly 3, a little further, there's the Zoom Fly 6, the Vomero 18, the Vomero Plus, and then the Vomero Premium. I think all of those are actually really good shoes. So the Alpha Fly is really the only race shoe in that group. That's a tempo shoe, and then these are the two siblings of this one. So a video that I'll do soon is I'll match up the three Vomero shoes and kind of break down the differences between them. But you could almost do a running shoe rotation amongst those three shoes, with the regular Vomero 18 kind of being the daily shoe, the Plus being a little bit more of an up-tempo shoe that you could also use for long runs, a little bit more energy return, and this one is the comfort recovery shoe of the group. So it's really three distinct shoes within the Vomero line, but I think they're all pretty good, but very different in the way that they perform. So let me know in the comments if you were one of the few people who was actually able to buy a pair of these shoes in that initial release. I believe this colorway officially releases on October 16th, so there'll be more of these available in the coming days. In about a week, there'll be more of these available that'll probably sell out the first day as well. So does this shoe live up to the hype? I don't know. I mean, I like it, but is it worth the money? Time will tell. You know, I got to put more runs in this shoe, but the overall feel and energy return and ride of the shoe is very pleasant, and I'm going to enjoy just kind of wearing these around as a lifestyle shoe as well. I think it's a cool looking shoe. If you're on your feet all day, this is going to be super comfortable to just wear and walk around in. So I'll definitely post updates on the shoe as I run more in it. I also want to do a legitimate long run in these and see if that weight starts to be a problem later in a long run, because the other part of this is there's shoes like that one that exist, the A6 Mega Blast, where that has a lot of bounce and energy return similar to this one, but it's like half the weight. Not half the weight, but it's significantly lighter. So if you want a long run shoe that's light, that has energy return, that's a great option compared to this one. But I think this one is just the Rolls Royce to pamper your feet, you know, as you're out for those daily efforts. I will see you in the next video.